My name is Alina, and I am 22 years old. I was born in a small, quiet town surrounded by mountains and fields. The mornings here were always filled with the chirping of birds and the scent of fresh bread from my mother's kitchen. Growing up, I believed that life was simple and happy. My father used to take me and my younger brother, Ali, to the park every Sunday. Those were the happiest days of my life, and back then, I thought they would last forever. But life has its own way of testing us. When I was only 10, my father fell seriously ill. I remember sitting by his hospital bed, holding his hand, and praying harder than I had ever prayed before. But sometimes prayers alone are not enough. He passed away a few weeks later, leaving my mother to raise us on her own. She worked day and night, doing odd jobs just to make sure we had food on the table. I admired her strength, but I could also see the sadness in her eyes. She had lost the love of her life, and yet she kept going, for us. I grew up quickly after that. There wasn't much time for dreams or fun. I studied hard, hoping to one day give my mother the life she deserved. But life doesn't always go as planned. When I turned 20, I got married. My husband, Ahmed, is a kind and humble man. We met through a mutual friend, and at first, I was unsure about marrying someone I barely knew. But my mother assured me that he was a good person, and so I took a leap of faith. Ahmed works as a delivery driver, and I stay at home, trying to make our tiny apartment feel like a home. We live far away from my hometown now, in a bustling city where people are always in a rush. Sometimes, I feel like I don't belong here. The noise, the chaos, it's nothing like the peaceful town where I grew up. Our apartment is small, with only one bedroom and a tiny kitchen. But I've decorated it with photos and small touches that remind me of home. Even though Ahmed is a good man, life hasn't been easy for us. Money is tight, and there are days when we struggle to afford even the basics. I've thought about getting a job, but I don't have any experience or skills that would help me find one. Sometimes, I feel trapped. Like I'm stuck in a life I didn't choose. At night, when Ahmed is asleep, I often sit by the window and look at the city lights. They remind me of the stars I used to watch as a child. Back then, I would make wishes on those stars. I wished for happiness, for a bright future, for a life full of love. Now, I wonder if those stars ever listen to me. But even in these moments of sadness, I try to hold on to hope. I think about my mother and how she never gave up, even when life was unbearable. She taught me that no matter how difficult things get, we have to keep going. One day, I hope to have children of my own. I want to give them the kind of life my mother dreamed of giving us. I want them to know the beauty of small towns, the warmth of family, and the value of kindness. But for now, I'm taking life one day at a time. There are days when I feel overwhelmed by the bills, the loneliness, and the weight of unfulfilled dreams. But then, there are moments that remind me why I keep going. Like when Ahmed brings me flowers after a long day of work, or when I call my mother, and she tells me she's proud of me. Life is not perfect, and it never will be. But maybe, just maybe, it's these imperfections that make life beautiful. It's the struggles that teach us to appreciate the little joys. It's the pain that makes us stronger. So, if you're watching this and you're feeling lost or hopeless, I want you to know that you're not alone. Life is hard, but it's also full of surprises. Sometimes, the best things come to us when we least expect them. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I do know one thing: I will keep going. For my mother, for my husband, and for the little girl inside me who still believes in the magic of stars.